Being a superhero isn't easy. It means sometimes making the hard choice, even if it goes against your morals, and even at times putting yourself at risk for being corrupted by evil forces who seek to use you as their superpowered tool. I'm your host Amanda McKnight, and this is the top 10 times superheroes cross the line. Number 10. Synch. Lately in the comics, the mutants have been beset by many problems and complications. That's what happens when you become one of the greatest powerhouses on planet Earth. Everyone bands together to take you down. Your enemies fall away only to merge and rise up again stronger and more united than ever. That's what happened when the secret of mutant immortality got out, falling into the hands of Orchis. Orchis passed on the information to the seasoned and very interested reporter Ben Urich of the Daily Bugle. With the secret being crucial to the mutants' rep, Synch of the X-Men panicked and decided the best way to deal with the crisis was to avert it. Synced with Jean Grey, he used her powers to wipe the mind of Ben Urich, taking his notebook so he'd forget he ever knew about the mutant immortality. Later, he and Cyclops decided to do the right thing and restore Urich's memories, but still, it was a pretty controversial move, as manipulating the minds of others always is. Number 9. Batman. One of Batman's strongest moral convictions is that he chooses not to use guns. Okay, so back in the day, way back when he was first created, he kinda did use guns. But that was also, at this point, technically another Batman from another continuity. Although, I guess with all the continuities now combined after the events of Death Metal, it wouldn't be? I guess? Usually this is one of the things he is known for though. He doesn't use guns. That's just usually a staple. Don't question me about the continuity, it's too confusing. Which was what made it so shocking when even Batman conceded to himself use a gun against Darkseid to kill him, using a Radion bullet. I know Darkseid is one of the biggest bads, but still, it's definitely considered crossing a line for a hero like Batman. Although one he was evidently at the time willing to cross. And friends, before we move on to this next point, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Nerd, please go and check out our newest channel, Most Amazing Top 10 Anime. Number 8. Beast. Beast has been crossing the line pretty much exclusively as the head of X-Force. Hank McCoy used to be known for his extensive vocabulary and love of science, but these days he's known more for his devious schemes. It's writing like this that makes me wonder if his alternate Dark Beast was really such a long shot for the character. One of the worst things Beast has done on his long list currently was decided to bug and then later use Krakoan plant technology to mind control the leaders of Terra Verde, forcing them to be allies and puppets of the mutant nation completely under X-Force's control. When Emma Frost found out about this at the first ever Krakoan Hellfire Gala, she was livid, ordering the political prisoners to be basically freed from mutant influence. Whew, talk about a scandal. Number 7. Superman. When Superman ends up an imprisoned gladiator on Mongol's warworld, he decides something must be done. Although Superman has a pretty strict moral code normally against killing, he knows of heroes and anti-heroes who don't. He decides to bring them together to be his team to get done what he otherwise cannot, taking out those who need to be eliminated in order for them to be able to liberate the prisoners of Warworld. Although Superman isn't technically the person to cross the line here, he still does cross the line when he resigns to bring in those who he knows will do the dirty work, condemning the villains who are in their way from saving those who are trapped on Warworld. Number 6. Psylocke. Psylocke is currently the character we once knew as Quanin. For years, she and Betsy Braddock were fused together with Betsy's spirit basically possessing Quanin's body. It was pretty messed up. Fortunately, now the two have separated once more, with Quanin deciding to keep the Psylocke mantle, while Betsy has taken a new name for herself, her brother Brian's former mantle of Captain Britain. Psylocke joined a team of Krakoan mutant rejects, known as the Hellions, one of my favorite teams, who were seen as more difficult mutants who basically didn't really fit anywhere else within the New Mutant Nation. This often meant that Psylocke, as their field leader, was forced to make some pretty hard choices, especially as they were kind of used like a Suicide Squad team, going on missions that were very dangerous and less, positive missions. Bad stuff. Case in point, when Psylocke and Greycrow learned of a sentient AI race that had newly emerged, the Smileys. Despite the Smileys being oppressed, kinda like how mutants were, AI life forms are considered a threat to mutants due to their history with the Sentinels, and Psylocke was basically forced to eliminate the seemingly friendly newborn race of Smileys. Pretty sad. Pretty awful when you think about it. I mean, even Psylocke, when she was doing it, was like, this feels feels pretty awful. Number 5. Jason Todd. Jason Todd was once known as Batman's sidekick, Robin, a hero and ally to the Dark Knight. However, he also had a little bit of an attitude problem, which often put him at odds with his mentor, Batman. Eventually, Jason left Batman's side in search for his birth mother, which ended up putting him on a deadly path to confront the Joker, who seemingly killed Jason before Batman could arrive in time to rescue him. But the truth was, Jason didn't exactly die. He was kinda resurrected and years later would return to Gotham, rebuking the morals Batman had tried to instill in him and becoming the violent villain and later turned anti-hero known as Red Hood, who didn't have a qualm with killing nor with using guns in his own fight for justice. Number 4. Eternals and Avengers. Taking things to more of a cosmic level of danger, recently in the comics, the AXE Judgment Day event is unfolding, which sees the Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals all pitted against one another. With newly elected Prime Eternal Druig turning on the mutants, who he has labeled now as deviants, and taking control of the Eternals' leadership, the Eternals and Avengers band together to stamp out his rule by resurrecting and reprogramming a Celestial, a cosmic god, with the help of a kidnapped Mr. Sinister. I would say also with the help of the X-Men, but I don't think we really consider, even though Mr. Sinister is technically a good guy right now, I don't think we consider him part of the X-Men. I feel like hell will have frozen over the day Mr. Sinister joins the X-Men. The problem with all of this? Well, it works, but not only is Druig judged, but it seems the world is in danger of now being judged too. And if found to be unfit, the people of Earth will also soon be killed. Superheroes, supervillains, just normal people, everyone. Number 3. Green Lantern. John Stewart is messed up in the past, and messed up kinda big time, but if there's something we know about John, it's that he is pretty wise. He learns from his past mistakes, which is perhaps how he later becomes known as the only mortal thus far to serve as a guardian of the universe, at least temporarily. With great wisdom often comes great confidence to act, which can be good and sometimes not so good, depending on the outcome. In this case, it forced John to act somewhat brashly when the universe was at risk thanks to Krona taking control of Mogo, the Green Lantern who happens to be a whole planet. Mogo also had within him the energy of Black Lanterns previously devoured by the planet, and so Green Lantern John Stewart, who was actually an Indigo Lantern at that time, acted. He took within himself all the Black Lantern energy from Mogo and used it to deal a killing blow to Mogo, destroying the planet and its ability to act as Krona's pawn, but also robbing Mogo of his own life, as at the time the planet was actually completely under Krona's control and influence. Number 2. Jean Grey. Jean Grey definitely crossed a bunch of lines during her initial time as Phoenix. Well, the confusing thing with this one is that she also kind of didn't. It turned out that Jean as Phoenix wasn't really Jean at all, but was just Phoenix who basically imprinted on Jean, and after the X-Men ship crash landed, took her place. However, Phoenix did also take on Jean's appearance, personality, and memories, meaning that for all intents and purposes, she was basically just like Jean, and may as well have been Jean, honestly. Even still, in the modern day, there are a ton of folks who, in canon, hold Jean responsible for the actions of the Phoenix while the Phoenix Force adopted her form, including when Phoenix turned dark and destroyed an entire planet in issue 135 of the X-Men. Jean still works hard every day to make up for this, feeling even herself responsible. Number 1. Green Lantern. John Stewart isn't the only Green Lantern to cross a line. Hal Jordan also did so, although like Jean, it wasn't really his fault. Although in Hal's case, it was still actually and firmly him. This all went down when Hal Jordan was possessed by the evil fear entity and parasite Parallax, known for representing the yellow color of the spectrum, fear. Parallax had been trapped in the Green Lantern's central battery, and was released by Sinestro and sicked on Hal Jordan. For years, Parallax was slowly feeding on Hal's fear, turning his hair white at his temples, and slowly corrupting him from within, until it was powerful enough to take full hold, escaping its prison, and while merged with Hal, threatening the lives of Earth, the lives of the Green Lanterns, and eventually kind of the lives of all of those in the cosmos. Or at least all those in, that area of the cosmos. Are there any superheroes who have crossed the line so much to the point that you feel they are irredeemable? When do you think it's justified for them to compromise their morals, if ever? Do you think superheroes should be held accountable for their actions, even if they weren't in control of themselves at the time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. Till next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.